And here we go. Game number 1 for our SOOP DUEL Series. SnOw versus RoyaL, the runback between these two. It was the first ever SOOP DUEL Series cast on the channel. SnOw versus RoyaL. And it was an epic series. SnOw played a little bit out of his own wheelhouse, and it worked out fantastic for him. Opting for arbiters more than speed shuttles, so maybe showcasing a bigger range of play than we're used to. I expected RoyaL to be able to shut that down easily. It's really fallen out of favor in the TVP meta, but maybe out of practice, he wasn't able to get the EMPs that he needed. And SnOw was able to take down that series. So will we see RoyaL get his revenge here today on SnOw, or will SnOw continue his domination? Take another $500 home this week. Or excuse me, this day. We're doing SOOP DUEL Series every day. Every Wednesday through Sunday anyway. It's not like the KCM where we only get 1 video per week. 5 videos per week and then 1 day for KCM. We're hitting almost every single day. I guess I'm going to be taking like a Wednesday off or something like that here in Japan, so there will be 1 day with no Starcraft content coming from my side, but hopefully that'll keep you guys entertained. We've got the Nexus first here out of SnOw. Looking for an early advantage here on Pantheon. He was taken down quite handily on this map in the last series. But in that case, he spawned in top left and RoyaL spawned in bottom left. Again, vertical spawns, but it's a lot different on the right-hand side of this map. The corridor leading into your natural from the bottom side on the left-hand side of the map is very tight. RoyaL pushed through that area with a 2-base push, and it was extremely hard to stop. Now, though, the corridor is on RoyaL's side of the map, and it's a lot more open near the natural for SnOw. A forge starts up. Wait, did he see a second Rex inside the map? I thought that was a factory. I'm pretty sure that's a factory. But still, the cannon's going to be a reasonable defensive option. And it'll definitely prevent RoyaL from pulling a bunch of SCVs and breaking this natural. He just needs to start the cannon now. And it's no longer possible. As soon as that cannon gets started, it's no longer possible for a Marine push to break this. He's going to add on a machine shop immediately. Skipping over the Vulture. Are we going to see a tank push out of RoyaL? This is interesting. He's hiding the fact that he's building a lot of Marines, but SnOw sacks the probe to get in there. He sees the number of Marines. That's going to tip him off in a big way. He wasn't able to see the addition of the add-on there. The machine shop was not visible to him, so he doesn't know for a fact that this is going to be a tank push, but he might be able to surmise what's going on. There's going to be some SCVs pulled here. Quite a few Marines are going to be sent forward, and this tank push will initiate. Bunkers are going to be made, and RoyaL wants to bust this wide open. Let's see if he can make it work. SnOw, he's just finished up his cybernetic score, so he'll have some units on the way here soon. He built, I think, 3 gateways in that main base. He knows, he should know that he doesn't need a robotics facility. There's no mines coming up with this play. So just getting as many units out as possible is the key to breaking this. 4 gateways would be perfect. Let's see if that's what he's made. We haven't gotten a shot of the main base here just yet. There's the cannon under threat already. It's a shame he didn't build a second cannon out a little bit further to delay this more, but he's put one in the back. That cannon right next to the Nexus should deter the Marines from moving forward, at least for a little bit. He's going to pull some of the probes out of the natural and leave a few mining on some of the upper patches. He's trying to optimize his mining right now. He's going to lose the pylon. Oh god, the cannon really doesn't do anything, and the pylon goes down. He loses 2 Marines at least, but now the cannon is completely useless. Going to go ahead and kill his own egg now. Killing off that egg to open up the position. I think I should turn down the in-game sounds just a little bit here. It looks quite loud, but you guys can let me know in between games there in the chat how that sounds to you. Double bunker, 3 SCVs, 3 tanks in the back. How do you ever break this as SnOw? Well, with 4 gateways, 4 more zealots are about to pop out here, and we're gonna see if he can make it work. Here he comes, a bunch of dragoons running up here to the front. He's not gonna wait for those extra zealots to pop out. He's just gonna go directly on top of these tanks. Now that the bunkers have been broken, the dragoons just run right past this, and he busts it open. The perfect response from SnOw is going to be able to save that Nexus. Beautifully done here. Oh, he just lost 2 more dragoons. Wait, how did that happen? Marines are gonna run forward. Maybe try to jump on top of one of these dragoons. No, not gonna do that either. He's at least gonna push into the main and figure out what's going on over here. At least see the follow-up. That's a lot of Marines, but dragoons with range are incredibly good against this. And he'll just keep kiting it out. No dragoons should die, and I think this is a straight-up win for SnOw now. So much was thrown into that attack. Such a massive investment there from RoyaL. If SnOw had done anything differently, if he hadn't read this perfectly, that absolutely could have killed him, but you saw the instant response with the 4 gateways thrown down. Perfectly done. And now he's got the shuttle out. Might even have a Reaver on the way. No, he doesn't have the Reaver out yet, but it is in production. He's going to come over here and scout. See what RoyaL's got in that natural. There are some mines out, so he does need to wait for an observer as well before he can start to move with these dragoons. He's set up with the dragoons to prevent mines from going down at his 3rd, so he can easily take that here soon. He comes in, he sees the CC is incredibly late. It's super late. And so a lot of the pressure is off for SnOw. He can just macro and be content in his position. As long as he doesn't run into mines here. Looks like he managed to pick that one off. He should be 100% fine. Reaver coming across the map. This is a scary Reaver because RoyaL's lost so much, and he's so far behind. Thank you so much, Azodub 420 for the 50 gems. Go SnOw. Let's see if SnOw can punish RoyaL after that cheeky bust attempt. With this Reaver coming into the main base. 1 turret finish up just barely in time. Look at that timing. 2 tanks in the main, plus a bunch of vultures is a pretty decent defense, but we've seen what SnOw thinks of those defenses. Pretty good. Is generally not good enough against SnOw, but he's actually trapped the shuttle here in the corner, and he's putting a lot of damage onto it. If he just targets that right now, he will kill it, and the Reaver goes down. Ooh, SnOw rotating around those defenses a little bit too long, and he ends up losing the Reaver and shuttle. That's giving RoyaL a lifeline back into this game. He's got tanks at the front. There's quite a few dragoons here, but oh god. Wait, what am I watching? All right, that tank. A little bit crazy. Nothing in the wall though, and some vultures will slip by. Oh man. Oh man, SnOw not reacting with these Dragoons in the main. He's gonna lose a few more probes. That's about 4 probes so far, possibly a 5th. There we go, a 5th probe goes down. And now he is truly hurting. Still in a lead, but that lead has been greatly diminished, and RoyaL is just going to go for the follow-up. He doesn't feel confident that he can take this into a late game. And so wants to just try to end here on Pantheon. It's a ridiculous boon to the confidence of SnOw if he manages to take down RoyaL on Pantheon. This is the map again that he got absolutely dominated on in our last series between these two. And so winning here gives him a lot of momentum going forward. See, this tight area, this very narrow corridor is where RoyaL set up in the last game, but the corridor doesn't extend all the way to the natural this time. He's got to move through this open space in order to actually start putting pressure onto SnOw, and SnOw already has a lot of stuff to try and break this. He's going to come in with a wide arc of Dragoons and a lot of Zealots here, even pulling back the Dragoons as the tanks were targeting them, doing more damage and getting right in on top of this. He's going to kill a lot of these tanks and shut down this push before it even starts. There it is. One of the few final tanks ends up going down. And SnOw has just thrown a massive wrench into the plans here of RoyaL. How is he ever going to continue this push all the way up to the natural with so few tanks remaining? And not really a lot of anti-air, right? He's only got the one turret coming up. He lost his Goliath earlier, and there's a bunch of shuttles in the air. It is going to be so difficult to break SnOw right now. All SnOw needs to do is just stop this push, and he should be in a winning position. I see RoyaL's plan. I see RoyaL's game. He's going to push up to this wall and try to hit some of the buildings inside the main, but he loses the eBay. Wait, the eBay goes down. Where is the barracks? He actually needs that barracks to be brought forward so that he can see inside this main. Otherwise, his plan is kind of cooked. SnOw hasn't taken either of his 2 other gases. He's running quite low on gas, actually. He's going to take that now, but really all he needs is muscle. He just needs to smash through this defense, or this, excuse me, attack, this push. And as soon as he does so, he will be in such a winning position. It's not really possible for RoyaL to come back. You can see RoyaL was not able to take his 3rd base over at the center right during this, which is traditionally the way that you would want to expand as you're pushing, to expand behind the push. I'm gonna lose this last tank. Some desperate mines being thrown down here at the end of this fight, but RoyaL has to tap out as his push is broken. So is his spirit, and he must leave this game. Moving on to game number 2, SnOw going forward with confidence after taking down Terran on such a difficult map. He's going to be feeling fantastic. Here we go. Game number 2. SnOw versus RoyaL, with SnOw in the bottom left. And RoyaL here in the top left. His bus didn't work. He thought he could punish that Nexus first. And his position looked insanely strong. With 3 bunkers at the front, he had at least 8 Marines in there. Plus 3 tanks. But SnOw had the appropriate counter. He had exactly what he needed to bust that wide open. And from that moment on, it was a difficult uphill battle. How is SnOw going to open this time? On Deja Vu, it's a bit of a smaller map. Don't have nearly as many bases. And controlling the central ring around the middle is going to be of the utmost priority. One thing to mention though, with the updated version of Deja Vu, it's no longer possible to build turrets and other buildings on the high ground ring around the center. That has been disabled. So those pushes are not going to be as strong any longer. Especially against mass shuttle play. Mass shuttle play will break those pushes a lot easier. That's kind of what I think the map makers were going for when they decided to change the buildability on this high ground right here, right where RoyaL's walking now. That used to be buildable terrain. It is no longer. I haven't checked it myself with this new map, but or with the oh wait, hold on, is this the new version? Oh no, this is not the new version, guys. All right, so we're actually playing on the older version of Deja Vu. That newer version was just recently released, and I should let you guys know these games have been played within the last 3 months, but I guess the new map hadn't taken effect yet. Yeah, you can see it here in the natural. The doodads are a little bit different in the natural on the newer map. So, my mistake, guys. It is still possible to push along this top ring and build turrets up there to supplement that push. We had the Nexus first here once again from SnOw, following up this time with double gateway, another decently safe approach, similar to the cannon to building a forge. It's going to help you to defend against any sort of bust attempt out of RoyaL, but RoyaL is not planning on doing a bust this time. He's got his CC down in the natural. And although he has a vulture out, he's only built one marine, so it's not really going to be possible for him to bust this wide open. But he can put some pressure on. There's only 2 zealots for SnOw at the moment. And some good control with the vulture will at least force back these probes for now. He's got to wait on some dragoons before saturating that base. He's actually behind in workers at the moment. And he can't make workers off of this Nexus until that's been pushed away. So, getting some good compensation. RoyaL will fall back as this Dragoon comes out. He's going to try and loop around the Dragoon, though, with the second Vulture. Sneak past. Oh, the Dragoon actually misfired there. Didn't get any shots off. And actually get a probe. Oh, he's kind of messed this up. He really wanted to get some probe kills, but looks like the Dragoons will finish that off. And there's no mines to speak of now coming from that first Vulture. This Vulture heading around the bottom side. SnOw really wants to put some pressure on right now, but a RoyaL Vulture might actually sneak through into the natural. There is a bunker back at home. There should be mines on the way, but that's a lot of units coming his direction. Will he be able to hold? He's got to pull his SCVs immediately when he sees this. He's got 1 SCV on the bunker, which is a good start. But if SnOw just bulldogs it, he just smashes through this, which he might actually do. He's actually getting fully surrounded on the bunker, and he's preventing SCVs from getting the repair. Oh my goodness, he prevents the repair there, and he's going to get on top of all of these Marines. He kills the bunker. There's 3 Dragoons remaining, and the 2 Zealots are going to help out a lot with killing off these tanks. He even gets up on the high ground. He's going to kill this second tank, almost for sure. Oh, he actually gets a really good body block on that second Dragoon, forcing it to dance a lot. Vulture comes in. While this is going on, he's going to kill a bunch of probes. But this is a huge amount of damage. The number of tanks that he lost and SCVs that went down. SnOw is really slowing down RoyaL. And he might even get this next tank as well and continue this harassment. The Vulture, however, oh my goodness, it's getting a lot of damage here, guys. 4 kills already. Missing a few kills on some of these probes. He's got to get one more. Okay, let's get one more. The tank goes down, though. And it looks like the aggression is over. Hey, Cardiox. Thank you so much, man. 100 gems. For your reference, guys, that's about $11, maybe $12 US. Really appreciate your support, man. That is a big help towards our gem goal. Really helping to keep this series and English Broodwar alive. With your hard-earned cash, I super duper appreciate it. And so, when all the dust settles after the early aggression, who do we think is ahead? Who has the advantage? Well, RoyaL thinks he is in the advantage. He wants to push up towards this natural and try to put on some pressure. Kind of a wild attack right now, coming directly into the natural, but it might end up working. My goodness, he's getting a lot going here. Kills quite a few probes there with the mine connection as well. He's going to try and turn these probes into fighters. Try to use them to block this attack, but he's losing a lot of these probes and he's falling desperately far behind in workers now. Great block at the top of this ramp. Can he actually stop? Oh gosh, that mine actually makes such a big difference here. Oh my god, these mines are crazy, dealing so much damage. Finally, a Reaver pops out. His spirit animal is finally unleashed. He should be able to stop this, but how much damage will he sustain as a result of these vultures running by into the main? Finally, the tank will run away. If he keeps that tank alive, it's actually massive. Oh, and he gets the hit with the mine on the Reaver as well. That's going to cause a lot of problems here for SnOw. He would love to go on a counterattack and try to deal some damage back to RoyaL. But he really can't for the moment. He needs something here to stop more vultures from running by. He's actually going to pick up his 2 Dragoons and run them over to this natural. Just making sure that they don't end up getting hit by mines on their way. There's still mines in the main. Only 1, though. Gonna bring a probe out to try and take a 3rd base, it looks like. SnOw in desperation mode. Oh gosh, that was close. Full HP Reaver has been brought forward. I guess the other Reaver is still in the natural probe. Gonna take this Nexus. Desperately far behind as he is. SnOw needs to try to gamble somewhere, and it looks like he wants an economic gamble rather than diving into the main with Reavers, some sort of gamble like that. He just wants to try his luck getting this 3rd base online as soon as possible, getting his economy back to where it actually should be. Here at the 10-minute mark, RoyaL is gearing up to start adding on a lot more factories. He's gone up to 5, which is certainly enough to push out and take his 3rd base, and I don't think that SnOw can break him if he wants to go ahead and do that. With the amount of damage that's been done, the economy behind his war machine, his war effort, it's just not there. He needs a little bit more if he wants to be able to break RoyaL, and so he needs more time to get some income rolling. Nice snipe there on the observer, pushing that back. There's not a lot of vultures out here or mines, so it's not going to make as much of a difference, but at least he is going to hide the location of his army. And holding this high ground is fantastic. High Tech Hippie, thank you for the sub, man. Every bit of support counts, guys, in making this a successful series. Looks like observers managed to spot where the Reavers or where the tanks are now, but RoyaL is pushing forward very carefully. We saw this in the first series between these two. Actually, game number 1, RoyaL had an amazing push going against SnOw. And he made one massive mistake after he ended up killing the Reavers. So we'll see if he makes another mistake here. It would have to be a doozy of a mistake to throw this game, but maybe it's going to happen. Still could happen here. SnOw is just adding on his gateways now. He's so far behind in production because of the early economic hit. He's light years behind in his macro ads, his gateway ads behind the factory count. And so he is lagging behind about 10 supply, whereas he should be around 20 supply ahead of the Terran at this point. And now this position is secure. This is the danger on this map for Protoss, is when the Terran gets into this spot right here on this high ground, it is so desperately difficult to break. And the fact that he's able to build turrets up there just makes it that much worse. Tanks are now in range of the natural, starting to hit the rally point, and there isn't even Zealot speed here just yet, so SnOw is just desperately trying to buy time. He needs a little bit more time to get a few more rounds of units out and get that Zealot speed finished up. And even then, it's going to be incredibly difficult to break this position. Look at the nice spot that the Vultures are in, sitting there in between the tanks, ready to start gunning down those Zealots as they come forward to engage this. SnOw wants to go around a little bit. Try to get some Zealots to hit from the right-hand side. And so RoyaL will respond with some mines here, prepping for that position. Gonna open up this pylon to try and siphon some more units around the right-hand side. He's managed to go through the fog of war at least. Get some units over here to the right-hand side, but a bunch of Dragoons go down in a lapse in concentration. SnOw loses a big chunk of his army before the fight even starts, and that might just be the killing blow. With all of those Dragoons falling right as he's about to engage this, RoyaL's position is that much stronger. Here he comes. Zealot speed is done. There's only 3 Dragoons with this army, though. Can he actually break this? Coming in from both sides here with the rallies as well. The army is just getting absolutely disintegrated. Look at how one-sided this turns out in the end. RoyaL holds easily, and SnOw is defeated. Firing back now, RoyaL takes a game off of SnOw. We're getting into game number 3 with RoyaL spawning down here at the bottom center. Fresh off a win there, SnOw. He's been shut down, but he's not out. Spawning in the center right. Gonna have to make some adjustments from that last game. Wanted to get really aggressive with the Nexus first, but the Vulture's run-bys threw a giant wrench into his plan. And so now here on Dominator, are we going to see another Nexus first? We saw Nexus first so many times when we watched that Best series. That Best series, I mean, Best just went Nexus first just about every game. SnOw, he mixes it up a little bit more, at least from what we've seen in the previous series between SnOw and RoyaL. He tried out some different builds, even going for Arbiter, which actually worked out fantastic for him. I want to see more SnOw Arbiter play, actually. If he's working on it and working it into his style. I think there's going to be some maps that are coming up in the new map pool for ASL that are going to favor people who can mix in some Arbiter play and are practiced well with it. Only 2 on the gas here as he gets into his gateway. RoyaL Hasn't thrown down a gas yet, and so it's going to be a gasless fast expand for this map. Setting up a second supply depot on the right-hand side, creates a solid wall. It will help him defend against any early zealots that may be coming his way, and indeed, there is an early zealot making its way across the map. Really nice setup here for RoyaL. SnOw still has no idea where RoyaL is. This is the first thing he's sent out on the map so far. This is just the first zealot. And so he's actually going to send that in the right direction. I just doubt that he'll get any damage with it. RoyaL is too well placed. He's too well set up. And he's building a bunker already. He might be able to snipe an SCV, potentially. This SCV on the bunker. Get a little damage on that Marine? No. Oh, maybe the SCV on the CC? No, not gonna go for that either. Gonna run by here into the main base. Cause a little bit of chaos. Force the Marines to chase him around. But the chances of him actually killing anything, pretty darn low unless RoyaL makes a very big mistake. Back at home, SnOw's gonna take his own Nexus here in a moment. Loses a Marine. That's a mistake. Definitely need to keep that alive. Could end up losing a second Marine, which would be kind of devastating. Don't lose that Marine. Need that for damage. He gets an SCV as well. Uh-oh. RoyaL is fumbling the ball a little bit. Fumbles do happen, even at the highest level, even in the Super Bowl. Occasionally, players do fumble. This is some early aggression that RoyaL has no doubt dealt with hundreds of times in the past, maybe thousands. And his setup was really astoundingly good. Kind of perfect setup to deal with this kind of thing, but SnOw still somehow gets a little bit of damage going, killing an SCV and a Marine. Now he's got Dragoons here at the front with that quick range, putting quite a lot of pressure onto RoyaL and forcing him to repair, taking the Protoss tax. Taxing this Terran player more than his own government. And this will continue until a tank comes out. This is some painful money to spend here. That's not going into factories. That's not going to SCVs or supply depots. He's being forced to throw down an eBay and an armory as well. So a lot of minerals are being thrown to the side. All of these SCVs as well are not mining. That's 4 SCVs off the line. There's total only 34 workers. So it's a good chunk of his economy that's not being utilized. Lifts the barracks there for a second. That's a little bit dangerous. 4 Dragoons can two-shot this tank, so he's got to be careful. SnOw is going to continue to hit this now that the tank has taken some damage. There's the siege up finally. And with the siege, everything will be forced back. SnOw, I think, took his chunk of flesh. He took his toll on that Terran defense, and behind this, the Nexus coming up and pumping out a lot of probes. He's starting to catch up in that overall worker count. That Eco is getting online. The 3rd Nexus will be thrown down here, I think, soon. And a Reaver is coming across the map. So the Reaver is going to force a bunch of SCVs to stop mining in order to build up these turrets. There could also be some damage directly from the Reaver as he lurks around the outside, the edges of this base. There's a lot of surface area on Deja Vu, especially down in bottom left-hand corner, where SnOw could try to slip in and deal some damage. It's a lot of area to cover with just a few turrets and a couple of tanks. Will SnOw find the damage that he's so well known for? Here he comes into the main. 2 Zealots and 1 Reaver. 3 tanks ready to greet him, and the turret coverage is looking very good. SnOw just going to rotate over towards this natural. There's still more locations you could try to check, but it seems like everything is covered. Went up to the front here, drops the Zealot in range of the tank. That's going to eat the first tank shot. He does retarget onto the Reaver. Get some damage onto that. Tank up, down on the low ground. Will that target the Reaver as well? Looks like it's out of range. Tank goes down. 3 tanks coming up here to the front. They're going to siege up. And so he trades 1 Zealot. SnOw trades 1 Zealot for the bunker, a tank, and 3 Marines. Not bad. Not bad at all. Back at home, adding on some more gateways. He's forced all the tanks into the natural as well, by the way. Looks like RoyaL immediately moves those back, though. And Vultures try to get out. 1 ends up going down, but those are going to cause some problems on the map. Setting up mines in locations that SnOw would like to quickly take expansions at. Hatamaki, thank you. For the 100 gems. Oh my gosh. Overwhelming support here, guys. This is the best day for gems we've had so far. And it's only just begun. That is huge support. Thank you so much, guys. Big shout out to you, Hatamaki. Thank you for joining in on the stream. Thank you for taking your time to make a SOOP account and support this series. It means a huge amount to me. I'm touched, guys. I'm really touched by the support. Thank you. And so, everything calm on the Western Front. SnOw sitting out here, just beyond no man's land, waiting for the next move of RoyaL while he gets this economy and all of these gateways online. No sign of a switch into Arbiter this time, but landing right in the midst of these probes. Was that the best idea? Oh my gosh, that's pretty funny, actually. Gonna throw down some mines. He's going after, he's really going after that shuttle. He wants to kill the, oh, that mine almost got a lot of kills there. I think it got maybe 1 or 2. A few probes went down, maybe 4 or 5. He really wanted to get the dropship there. I like the idea. I think that RoyaL was expecting the probes to be pulled, and so the tank landing in the mineral line would be able to get a shot off as the probes were running away, but SnOw just turns the probes and says, all right, well, I'll just kill your tank with my probes then. They're all within the range of the tank. The tank can't fire if the probes are too close, so I guess they'll just clear that out for me. And he handles that drop with some ease, with some grace there. Really well handled. It's going to be hard for RoyaL to get any damage now. He's actually doing double armory upgrades, which is an older style, but it's coming back into prominence lately. More and more people are going for this. Oh my god, the unsiege. Wait, what? The unsiege there is crazy. The unsieges right as SnOw is attacking in. And so a lot of these tanks just don't get any damage in before going down. That huge Reaver Scarab actually hitting the middle of all of these vultures. And we're seeing the reason why this is not a popular style in the modern age. Going for those double upgrades, it slows down your production a lot. Getting out the higher factory count and more units to deal with the incredible number of gateway army that the Protoss is able to get out early is much more popular. And this is the reason he just gets overwhelmed immediately by the forces of SnOw, and I don't think he can hold this third base. He's got to push out pretty far, and you can't build turrets until you get onto this low ground. You're gonna have to build some turrets there. and get very defensive here for a while. His upgrades are still ticking away, but they're not going to come into effect here for a little while longer. Here comes another round of units for SnOw, going to try and break this open. SCVs are being pulled to try and keep these zealots off of the tanks. The tanks on the other side of the wall are great generally, but having them here, there's some tanks just below this screenshot here, guys, on the other side of the wall, and they've actually been hitting the zealots and doing a lot of damage to his own tanks. Oh, a massive mine connection there, killing a huge number of SCVs. SnOw is putting the punishment onto RoyaL as he tries to push out while getting these double upgrades. And now SnOw going to try and take some more bases around the map. RoyaL smartly getting out here with those mines that I talked about earlier. Having those in position is going to slow down the future expansions of SnOw. You see he's got plenty of money to drop those, but they're being slowed down just a little bit here. So RoyaL has some more breathing room. Going to go up to about 8 to 10 factories now as he slowly moves to take a 4th base. Is it time for Arbiter? No, there's double Robo right now. So this is the more modern style of PvT. Lots of shuttles, budget recalls into the main, and zealot bombs on tanks to deal with the army. It's quite a strong way to play. But I was hoping we were going to get a little bit more Arbiter out of SnOw. We saw him utilize that last series, getting rid of some of these turrets. He's pushing now into the main, ready to get a big shot on these SCVs. Oh, and he's got a storm in there. What a massive combination. Storm plus Scarab, decimating that mineral line. It's actually the correct use of the word there. What, 1 in 10 of those SCVs just went down, dropping him to 55 workers overall. Here comes the follow-up. There's some Reavers in here as well, I imagine. Maybe just one. Ready to punish these SCVs. No, he's got a storm in there. It's like he may have to pull out as the Goliaths come forward. Just barely getting away from that Goliath there. Keeping the shuttle alive. One more shot, though. Okay, he doesn't get the Templar out. That's a shame. Templar not able to come out. This Vulture counterattack is quite annoying. This is slowing down SnOw from continuing to expand by quite a bit. And meanwhile, RoyaL is actually taking center left. So all of this attacking into the main base that SnOw's been doing, this harassment that he's been doing. Oh gosh, and he's gonna catch these probes on the transfer as well. There's a bunch more Dragoons coming up, and so he actually won't lose too many probes. But he's dropped down now to 63. That's still a very good amount here. Maximum you really want as the Protoss player, maybe 75, maybe 80. That is the absolute maximum, though. I've been told that by Protoss players recently. I can't remember exactly who it was, but was telling me that you can go to higher than 70 as a Protoss player to just try to mine out as much of the map as possible. For the very, very late game PvT. You want to make a massive bank and just eat up as many minerals as possible. That's a very specific situation. We're in a spot right now where maybe SnOw can bust through. He's bringing up a lot of zealots here. They're trickling in the back, and the Templar are getting some great storms. The tank line is deep, though, and there's quite a few reinforcements coming out to start to clear all of these zealots. Busting through this front. Almost getting in here. High-tech hippie, you legend. 500 gems. Bringing us a heck of a lot closer to that goal. He must want Shun to come in here for the duo cast very, very badly. As soon as we reach that 1,000, I will bring him in, or that 3,000 gem goal, I'll bring him in for a dual cast. Thank you so much, man. That is some massive support. That's the biggest donation we've had so far. And for those of you who aren't familiar with gems, that's about 50, 55 US dollars, something around there. Absolute legend. Keeping this Broodwar content alive and casted in English. And so RoyaL is going to start to counterattack now, setting out more vultures on the map, looking for more damage wherever he can find it. Meister with 100 gems as well. Guys, you're going to make me cry. This is amazing. Thank you so much. I'm getting all choked up here. But I gotta keep this cast going. Really good map control from SnOw. He's putting those Dragoons in the right positions with the observers absolutely everywhere. You can see he's controlling like 4 different locations with Dragoons clearing out mines. It's not easy to do, but he's doing it continuously all over the map, and just look at how empty this map is of mines. Despite RoyaL trying over and over again to fill up this map with mines, he's not been able to. Here comes a massive drop into this third base. Where are the storms? Where are the Templar? Not a lot of stuff is actually getting out of these shuttles without being absolutely destroyed. This Dragoon is blocking all the Zealots from getting up on the high ground. He's not going to be able to break this position. RoyaL hanging on with flying colors here, and the follow-up Zealots making their way into the base are just feeding into the meat grinder. RoyaL is taking a massive win here, and SnOw is not letting up. He's just continuing to go. This one D-Matrix tank holding the line at the front so well. More tanks are going to come up and start to hold this position. This one CC on the right-hand side that's in the process of being built is creating an amazing barrier for these tanks to hide behind. That was crazy from SnOw. He just sent everything up that ramp. Even while it wasn't working, he just continued to shove. And so now there's an opportunity for RoyaL to counter. He's still got about 150 supply, whereas SnOw, so much of his supply is in gateways right now. It's not actually out here on the map. He's desperately trying to crank out another army to stop this push from coming, but RoyaL's just going to move a little bit further forward and possibly take the top left. He already has that CC done. And so all he needs to do is start to take this center and hold that left part, that left side, and he will be able to take yet another base. Going up to 5 bases. That's really all he needs to get a win in this game. Pushing now over towards this high ground. The pizza slice has been taken over, but immediate target on the Reaver. Really, really well done here by RoyaL, and that tank line is way too deep. So many units back there in that line. Some good storms here on the exit to get rid of a lot of these vultures that are trying to shove forward. But the tank number is undeniably massive, and vultures rally very quickly. So he's going to shove forward with the tanks while resetting these rallies here towards the middle of the map. RoyaL in firm control of this game. It's not over yet, though. If he makes one mistake with this army and SnOw's able to get massive storms on big chunks of tanks, he could absolutely bring this back. One High Templar here at the back of the pack gets its head removed. Quickly destroyed there as RoyaL pushes in between the 4th base and the rest of the top right. He's going to get up on this high ground that is so critical. Actually going to be able to hit from this high ground into the main base, kill a lot of gateways and potentially the secondary robo if he wants to. Meanwhile, the counterattack coming through, that's so much damage, but a lot of those SCVs do manage to escape with low HP. He's stopped the base in the top left, and he's shutting down center left. That leaves only one mining base for RoyaL, but he's going to start to shut down bases over here in the top left. Can SnOw kill off these tanks with just pure zealot bombs? while preventing more bases from coming up in the top left from RoyaL, while cutting off this supply of oxygen and much needed income in the top right. 2 bases going down for SnOw. He's brought his army back to try and save this base over here. But will he be able to keep that one alive? He's going to drop down to 1 base mining as well if he's not able to get this base protected here soon. Coming in with some zealot bombs. He clears a couple of tanks. So there's still 4 or 5 tanks in this army. Another Templar coming up. Can he get the big storm that'll actually clear this? He's got it. Cast the storm. Cast the storm. Cast the storm. No, he's not going to cast the storm. He's forgotten about it. Oh my gosh, he could have done so much damage to these tanks on this low ground. Plus the Goliaths would have been damaged as well, but he doesn't go for the storm. Bringing up the Zealots, though, he may just barely clear this. Absolutely wild game here, guys. SnOw hangs on. Great EMP there, but he gets the storm anyway. So many kills on these SCVs. Only 32 remain. It's enough to saturate these 2 bases. And in fact, this mineral only is about to run out. So saturating 1 base is fine with 32 workers. A lot of probes being sent over to that top center. SnOw desperately needs to stay ahead on bases. So getting this online as soon as possible is a necessity. Oh, he targeted down his own mine there. Really well played by RoyaL. That could have been catastrophic. He attempted to drag that mine into the group of tanks, but the quick thinking there from RoyaL saves himself from disaster. SnOw is ready to pounce. If that mine connects and he starts dropping more zealots on the high ground, killing off those tanks, he might have been able to break that position, but RoyaL holds on by the skin of his teeth, now coming in to what he perceives to be the weakest position. This mineral only is under threat. This tank comes up, sieges, gets 1 shot, and gets taken out immediately, and the EMP goes down on a lot of these dragons. There's the D-Matrix there at the front. A lot of this is just unsieged, pushing forward. More SCVs have fallen. Another 10 SCVs go down, and the CC goes down as well. There's plenty of CCs to move around, though. The main and the natural could be brought forward to continue mining, but there's just not enough holding SnOw back here at the natural. I can't believe RoyaL taps out here. Just crazy game. Game number 3. Absolutely explosive match we just witnessed. What? What? Oh my goodness. I think out of this series and the last one we saw between SnOw and RoyaL, that was the best game. That was for sure the best game. Here we go. Game number 4. It's been an incredible series so far, but we've got so much more to come. SnOw over here in the top right, RoyaL in the bottom right. You know what it is. More TVP. Incredible action between these two. Incredible back and forths. And we're seeing the power of SnOw clearly for the first time in quite a long time. Remember, guys, this is a father we're looking at. SnOw has 2 kids. He's got a new baby. He is a pro gamer, but he is a family man as well. So he can't stay at peak performance all year round. This is not Speed we're talking about, who's just playing ladder for 10 hours every day. This guy has responsibilities. But he also needs to show up when it's time for ASL. And so he's getting back into that form. That peak form that we know him for, that we love him for. SnOw gonna take a Nexus first. Alright, we'll see how he decides to defend it this time. Is he gonna go for a Forge 2 gateways, or will he get greedy this time around. We're here on Retro. No, sorry, not Retro. Radion? That's the name. So Radion, much bigger map. This is the biggest map we've got in the map pool. I don't actually remember there being eggs on Radion. Am I wrong about this? Was that like an older version of the map? Or a newer version of the map? I'm not sure. Maybe this is the tournament version of Radion. And the one that we have on ladder, it doesn't have these eggs. I might be crazy, actually. Maybe it does have these eggs. Disregard me, guys. I cast way too much Starcraft Broodwar. I still can't remember the maps and all the changes that have been made throughout time. I'm actually hot right now. You guys got me emotional over here with all the support. It's crazy. I am absolutely loving it. We're definitely going to reach that goal, and I'm going to have to tell Shun here very soon that he needs to come in for a dual cast. Forge is the choice from SnOw. Interesting pylon placement. A very interesting pylon placement. I don't think I've ever seen the pylon at that position before. Here in the natural. That's like a... almost like a... Are you trying to shoot yourself in the foot, or what's going on with that pylon? Aren't you blocking yourself from coming out onto the map? Aren't you blocking your Dragoons? People say Dragoons have the worst pathing, but SnOw here setting up an obstacle course for himself to try and get those Dragoons out of his natural. It's not hard enough for him, he says. Dragoon pathing's not more difficult enough. We need to put more obstacles in our way. Give ourselves a bit of a challenge. So he's gonna go ahead and start that range. A Robo is following up, most certainly. Hasn't been able to scout much, but he's assuming that there's not going to be a factory follow-up like we saw in game number 2. What was that, game number 1? My gosh, memory is fading fast here, guys. But a triple gateway after this opener, it makes a lot of sense going directly into 3 gate obs off of Nexus first. It just gives you so much power. Raw Strength is the name of this build. Masses of Dragoons plus the Reavers, or sorry, plus the Observers allows you to clear out mines and basically be safe against anything. Whatever the Terran player is doing, you're just gonna have more muscle to stop it. He's even building a cannon here in the main. That's gonna finish up right around the 6-minute mark. Perfectly in time had there been the threat of a drop. So you can see he's aware of that as a possibility. And knowing that his position is good, gonna sacrifice a little bit of money here to get a cannon just to add that extra layer of safety early on. You rarely see cannons made this early because it's the same cost as a gateway. Adding on a cannon is quite costly. Here comes that push now. Shuttle is out. Empty scouting shuttle heading across the map. I think he's going to regret sending that out, though, because this push is landing in his natural right now. He turns it around immediately. Going to come back. Go and pick up some Zealots and try to break this push. Reaver's going to be coming out here soon, too. He's pulling a lot of these probes, similar to that game we had earlier. But there's only 3 gateways this time. It's not as concerted of a push, but there are mines involved. We don't have a bunch of bunkers, but there might be 1 bunker added to the front. Let's see if he gets that. An observer's going to be made and sent to the front. Looks like SnOw is getting ready to bust this. He has a Dragoon. Or no, sorry, a Reaver and 2 Zealots in there. I think I saw a Reaver in there. And so he's going to try and drop on top of this. Nothing to see vision on the high ground. And so this shuttle isn't really going to be contested. All the probes escape up into the main, and the shuttle goes across the map. All right, SnOw's just going to go for a counter. He knows that there can't be much back at home for RoyaL, and in fact, the natural is completely empty. 1 tank is going to be turned around and sent back home. 2 Zealots and a Reaver, though, will beat that easily. Some mines are being set up, but they could backfire if he drops Zealots on this mineral line. A lot of turrets are being set up here. He drops the Reaver in between the tank shots, and he's going to be able to take out that tank, no problem. Second Zealot goes down, though. He can't play that trick anymore. That trick is played out. Slipping through into the main. Getting into a position here where maybe he can drop and get a lot of damage. Gonna kill off this Vulture. Here's a spot where tanks can't hit him. Mines can't hit him either. Get some damage on this tank as well. Picking up and dropping in between the shots. He is gonna pull back in time, though. That tank is very low, but it's still alive for the time being. I think he drops on top of the tank now. He goes for the tank. He will get it. He loses the shuttle, but he should get a big shot with this Reaver. Huge shot on these SCVs. Kills a bunch of SCVs there. Another big shot. Is it enough, though? About 6 kills on those SCVs. Starting to ferry units out onto the map. That's going to be spotted immediately by RoyaL, who can respond with his Vultures. I'm going to go ahead and drop more Dragoons out here. Continuing to elevator down out of his main base. Getting ready to flank this incredibly entrenched position. Even having the floating buildings there. Lots of mines. The bunker as well. Is he going to break this, or is he going to counter? RoyaL is in a great spot right now, and he's got a lot of defense. Oh, a factory. Actually, on the way. Was stopped from completion. RoyaL's leaving a lot of his stuff at the natural, and so SnOw's going to go for this big counter. Is there going to be enough back at home to block this push? And what will RoyaL do with his army that's sitting out in front of the natural? Is he going to bring it back home? Is he going to go for a push into the main base? Let's see what he does. Diving in with the Dragoons. He's going to try and get up on this high ground. SCV pull is pretty good. SCV pull is going to block a lot of these Dragoons out. The Zealots are being cleaned. Zealots have mostly gone down. Dragoons are all that's left, and they are trying to deal some damage in this natural, but not getting enough. And SnOw has to tap out RoyaL with a swift push and punish. Even after going Nexus first, he should have had 3 Gateway Observer out pretty quick to start to take some space out on the map, but SnOw skipped the Observer, went directly into Reaver, and got punished badly. The counterattack did not do the damage it needed to, and RoyaL ties this series up once again. This is getting really exciting. We're here at 2-2. Here we are. Map number 5 is Kickback. Kind of a crazy map. And we're going to get crazier and crazier with the maps now as this series comes to a conclusion. RoyaL in bottom left. And his opponent, SnOw, over here in the top right. Cross map. Or game number 5. Let's see what kind of greed either player decides to go for. This map can lead to some of the greediest openers you can basically ever see in any matchup. All matchups are pretty greedy on this map, but that also leads to some very strong punishments. There's not a ramp leading into your main. If you're getting super greedy, taking early bases, a swift push into the main base with no ramp to defend, that can be very powerful as well. We'll see what either player has in store, both opting for an early game tech building rather than going straight into macro. And in fact, RoyaL gonna add his gas. SnOw adding his gas as well. So things are looking like a more normal game rather than super heavy duty greed. Still, there are going to be opportunities to take faster Nexi on these high ground bases just inside of your main. That's the special feature on this map. 2 high ground expansions in your main, which have reduced mineral patches and gas geysers. They will mine out very quickly, but they'll provide a lot of early income to supplement any sort of big attack that you want to do in the mid game. Then you'll have to reach out very far on the map to extend and take more bases in order to progress into that late game. And we've seen a lot of games where a player gets contained in that small quadrant of the map. Their little main base gets contained, and then they very quickly suffocate as the low yield bases, these bases on high ground, run out of minerals super quickly. We'll see if something like that occurs in this series as well. It seems like SnOw is at least checking his high ground down at his bottom right expansion. Not sure if he's going to take a really fast Nexus there. It's still a bit early to tell. But if he takes it before 6 minutes, that's an incredibly fast, greedy third Nexus and might be punishable by RoyaL. RoyaL gets his own CC there on the northern high ground. A Citadel is coming up for SnOw. Interesting decision. So we might actually see Arbiter this game, but that depends on whether RoyaL sniffs out this DT or at least prepares for it adequately to not just straight up die. Robotics in the front too. DT drop is on the way. A lot of gas banked up here for SnOw. DT drop is going to be his choice. It'll force RoyaL back at the very least. RoyaL will not have adequate mobile detection to prevent the DTs from stopping any sort of push. And so he'll have to sit back and probably take extra bases. He's actually going to throw down another CC. Oh my god. I said pre 6 minutes is a fast third Nexus, but we're about to see like a pre 5 minute CC. There it is. Oh my goodness. I think I might be correct in the assumption RoyaL will not be able to cover all 3 bases with vision and defense by the time this DT drop comes in. We might be seeing a very quick game here, guys. SnOw's going to be sending 2 DTs across the map very soon. Or at least 1. Maybe he just sends 1. That seems pretty weak, but we'll see. 1 DT. If he's got a turret and he kills this DT, I mean, SnOw will be in a very bad position at that point, but I really can't see him losing this DT. He should be able to get massive damage. There are mines all over the map, but there's not a lot of mines back at home. Only 1 tank here, a couple of Marines. I don't see any turrets. The eBay just finished up. Where are the turrets? There we go. He's going to start a turret here, but as long as he lands on this, he can just kill the turret, no problem. Is he going to get hit by the mine? Not yet. Mine not connecting. Oh, it's so close that mine could actually connect at any second. That shuttle's taking a lot of damage, but it is just 2 Marines, so you can outmaneuver that, no problem. Getting in. Gonna kill a couple of vultures now. The Marines are likely to go down. The Marines go down before the shuttle gets picked off, but the turret to the north is about to finish. He's got to pull back. You'll only be able to sustain about 2 hits from that turret before he loses the shuttle. He throws down a 3rd Nexus and a bunch of gateways. Trying to kill the DT by targeting his own SCV. Nice dodge there. Oh, he targets his own supply depot. That's a good way to do it. Not bad. Doesn't lose an SCV that way. Supply depot does go down a little bit quicker if he does. Targets his own vulture. Still not able to kill this one DT. DT with 6 kills. Another another fake out there. And he loses another SCV to self-target. 41 workers here for RoyaL still. And so this opener has paid off. The DT damage is quite a bit, but I don't think it's enough to make up for what an early 3rd base is. This is an incredibly greedy 3rd base. And he hasn't been able to put on, I think, enough pressure to make up for the risks that RoyaL took and the advantages he gleans from grabbing this base so damn early. He is going to be able to gear up to a massive push, adding on a lot of factories right now. Over on the top side, that one DT getting back out here again. There's the scan finally. Gets 3 shots from the tank onto that DT. It's got to be incredibly low at this point. There's another scan. He picks up again. Continuing to make this a threat. Continuing to juggle this DT. Just keeping it alive. Double armory behind this. We're going to see him go up to probably a 2-1 timing attack here on 3 bases. And it's going to be a hard attack to hold. I'll tell you that much. There's going to be about 60 or 55 SCVs made. 1-1 is going to be done here soon. 2-2 will start soon after. In fact, I didn't see the starport, but I imagine it's there. It certainly should be. Waiting for the scan energy. Finally going to get it. And a Goliath comes out at the same time, so he will deal with that. Finally getting rid of that pesky shuttle and DT. Coming up to the natural. Looking for an opportunity to dive in here, but tanks are now sieged up on that high ground. A little bit dangerous to try and dive in at this point. SnOw has done a lot with a little. 1 shuttle, 1 DT, and he got as much damage as he did. Will it be enough, though? Allow him to catch up and deal with this upcoming push. There's the starport now. It feels a little bit late. Maybe RoyaL missed the timing on that starport. I wonder if he's going to have the science facility done by the time he's ready to start +2. I feel like he won't. That +1 upgrade was started pretty early on. Maybe it was delayed a bit by the 3rd CC coming down so early. That might be the case, actually. Maybe it's fine considering like the armories had to be a little bit late with this build. There's the science facility. I'm gonna click on the tank, see if +1 is done. Could have actually looked at the armory, see if it was still spinning, but I didn't. My eyes didn't move in that direction at that moment. Don't have control over the replay. I'm not observing this myself, unfortunately, but so far the Spanish cast are doing a great job. He asked me if I had any notes for him for observing, so if you guys have any notes from your end, you can go ahead and let me know. I might ask him to do more. I did ask him, okay, but they're both spinning now. Definitely +2 is on the way now, I imagine. Just wanted to see if he had a delay on that because of the... Oh gosh, here we go. SnOw gonna push forward. He's got the storm in the mix. He storms the front tank. These two tanks at the back are gonna eat some big storms too. That tank goes down. Opening up the position here a bit, but a drop is moving around the side of the map. I'm not sure that SnOw has the defenses ready to deal with this. Probes just barely out of vision range of that dropship. Both players are busy dealing with this attack into the front. Cleaning up some of these tanks, but at the same time, this drop is going to make its way in. Start to kill a lot of these probes. So many probes are going down here. This is a very successful drop for RoyaL. Killing about 8 probes, something around that area. And he's going to have to kill his own pylon to get in here and deal with this. This dropship should be able to escape just in the nick of time. And another probe goes down because of this pesky mine in the mineral line. Looks like he will clear that last mine. The tank gonna set up here. Over in the top left. Continue to be a nuisance. Setting up more mines and clearing out this one cannon. Gonna try to move a little bit closer here as the shuttle makes its way forward. RoyaL, is he getting the better of SnOw? It's certainly starting to feel that way. Another storm there to follow up. Ends up killing the tank before he dives on that cannon, but RoyaL's gonna move while SnOw is distracted in top left. This is a great play by RoyaL. Causing some issues for SnOw out on the map and then making his move. When the armies are out of position, he's going to take bottom center and extend his lifespan in this game. Those high ground bases are quickly running out of resources, so this is a necessity. He needs this base. Scan there, not really going to help him out too much. There it is. He gets rid of the DT. More tanks moving over into position, and SnOw, I don't know if he has enough to actually break through here. Target on the Templar, but it's not quick enough. Storms go down, but an EMP follows up and gets rid of the energy on the remainder of the Templar. Zealot's getting on top of these tanks, and they're actually going to kill an outsized number of tanks at the end of this fight. More reinforcements coming forward, though. A great storm there. Not paying attention. RoyaL taking so much damage on these tanks, and now he's going to be able to push forward. SnOw's going to be able to push forward into this natural, kill off even more tanks. Filling the rally point here as well. This might force RoyaL to reposition his army that's defending the third base. Yeah, actually, he's just going to lose these tanks. Oh my goodness, SnOw is doing it. He's breaking through everything. RoyaL here is trying to hold this third base, but he's just not quite able to do it. This third base is under threat, and it's going down. GG is called. RoyaL taps out. SnOw takes game number 5. The lead is his. He says, no, you don't. And I guess the damage from that early game DT was enough. Monty Hall, our 6th map in this series. SnOw spawning in bottom right. And we've got RoyaL over here in top left. Put on your seatbelts, guys. Get your helmets out. This is going to be a wild ride. We've got SnOw already sending out a probe. Some sort of cheesy play is headed your direction now. Keep your eyes glued to the screen as SnOw sets this pylon up outside of the mineral patches. So whatever he's planning to do, it's not going to be easily scouted by RoyaL by just rotating an SCV inside of his main. RoyaL may be looking to open CC first. I think that's what SnOw wants to punish. This map We also see a ton of greedy plays. I think we're gonna have double gateway. Is this 9-9 gate? No, we're at 10 now. So no 9-9 gate. I think it's just gonna be one zealot with the probe to try and push the zealot over. I believe that's what we're gonna have now. Try to mineral walk on top of the zealot, push it into the main base. RoyaL gonna push his own SCV out into the middle lane. But back at home, he has a gas on the way. He's not going CC first, which is a really big deal. SnOw may not be able to punish this very heavily. RoyaL, if he builds, he does like a very normal build. Single gateway really shouldn't hurt him. Single gateway proxy should be dealt with relatively easily. RoyaL has a SCV sitting in an awkward position. He's going to build the factory out on the map. Oh, that could be really wacky. It is. He builds the factory out on the map. Actually insane. Oh, the Marine is going to come over here. He's on a timer. He has to get this zealot over this time, or he's going to lose the probe. He's got to do it. He's got to do it now. This is the last chance. He does get it over. The probe dies, but at least the zealot makes it inside. If he fumbled that third time, it would have been horrifically bad. Horrifically bad, because the zealot would have been stuck on the wrong side with no way to make it into the main. At least he's going to get a Marine here and can continue to run around, force SCVs off the line. This SCV body blocking is pretty cute, stopping the zealot, and he surrounds the zealot. Great job clearing that out. A second zealot was made? Wait, okay, he's going to send another probe over. Try and hop the next zealot, but I don't see how SnOw could think that this is going to work. There's 2 Marines here now. That'll definitely kill immediately this probe. You won't even get 1 chance, I think. Whereas last time he got 3. He's going to try it. No. Not going to be possible. Okay, bring the Dragoon up. Now it's possible. Now you can force the Marines back, at least. A Vulture with an SCV is in the main lane, though. And they're going to start to hop over. Can he actually get this Vulture to hop? He does. Big moment here as he hops the Vulture into the main. That's going to get so much damage. So much damage is about to come down here. As RoyaL gets into that main base. The Marines are going to die, though. Oh my gosh, the Marines die immediately. Dragoon. Oh, can't allow that Dragoon to get surrounded here. It's so important he keeps that alive. Big micro battle going on between these two on either side of the map. Who's going to lapse in their micro first? Seems like RoyaL is doing a fantastic job just getting so many kills. He can kill probes way faster than SnOw can kill SCVs. But if he gets caught by the probes, this thing will die incredibly fast, and he doesn't have a secondary. He does not have a follow-up. Vulture coming. Finally, a Dragoon pops out. 9 probes, guys. 9 probes are left. He just needs to mine out this mineral field. And now the tank can get into the main. SnOw, GG's out. And we're going to go to our final game. History has been changed. RoyaL has willed it. So, here we go. Minstrel, our final map. With SnOw spawning down here in the bottom right. An incredibly hype match comes down to this beautiful 2-player map. RoyaL in the top left. One of my absolute favorites of the recent map pools. Really, maybe one of my favorite 2-player maps of all time. As a viewer, as a caster, we've had so many great matches here in basically every matchup. It's a difficult map to play on, but maybe that's what makes it so fun to watch. Having these pro players push to their limits and try to find creative ways to deal with the difficulties on this map has been a pleasure to witness. And I'm sure this game will be no different. A very early probe headed out on the map. SnOw going to take early game control by stealing this gas out from under RoyaL. We'll see if he allows that to happen. He's not building an SCV right now. He does start that SCV. He doesn't have money to build a gas, so SnOw likely just going to steal this away. Really no way for RoyaL to prevent it at this moment. And so grabbing that gas, what does it mean? It means that RoyaL is going to have to open with a gasless fast expand. He won't be able to get an early factory out. And SnOw can play his game plan. Now, it doesn't mean that RoyaL is necessarily behind. The gas does cost money, plus the money lost from sending such an early probe across the map. It's a relatively costly maneuver, and gasless fast expand is a build that is common. Terran players do it all the time, so as long as he just hits his build and doesn't take any damage, he's going to be 100% fine. It's just, what does SnOw have for the follow-up? Well, he's going to have to deal with this eBay. Very common tactic from RoyaL here to build an eBay in the natural as a response to this stolen gas, as Zealot was headed across the map to put some pressure on to RoyaL and, you know, try to prevent him from easily taking his natural. But that eBay is also going to prevent SnOw from taking his natural. He's had to pull 3-4 probes off the line. I think he's actually pulled a total of 5 now. And he's sending these Zealots straight across the map. 2 SCVs. 1 to build the bunker, 1 to body block. Yeah, 5 probes, guys. 5 probes. That is a huge percent of the economy in this early game for SnOw has been dedicated to dealing with that eBay. Oh! That second Marine does go down there at the last moment. Can he block? Can he block? Body block here on the Zealot. Very important that he stops that from getting past this bunker. 2 Marines went down. But the Nexus has been deeply delayed, and he could come back in for a secondary block. Oh my goodness. Is he going to get this? No. Not going to go for another block on the Nexus. More important to find out what is coming up as the follow-up. Cybernetics core on the way, and there's the Nexus. He does see the follow-up here from SnOw. Zealot going to be sent back to deal with this. Interesting back and forth in this early game, but as the dust settles, I would say both players in a reasonable position. Nexus is slightly later than the CC. SnOw's gotten to play his game, but RoyaL has Aikida'd him into a reasonable position. He's changed the direction of this game. Wait a second. SnOw with a robo proxied on the map. He's not done with this. Gonna make a Reaver very close to the natural and maybe try to bust in while RoyaL is sitting here on this gasless fast expand. A RoyaL SCV making its way around the map. And why is it headed in this direction? What reason would SnOw be sending this SCV over this direction for? He actually sends it directly over to the robo. Some star sense had to be tingling there for RoyaL. Getting that massive scout and seeing the proxied robo. This is a really important moment in this defense. RoyaL even gonna slip by with the SCV. Was the range actually canceled to get that robo out? Would have liked to see, after scouting the robo, if the range was canceled. Seems like it's just gonna be ticking along here. Could have been restarted, but we're not 100% sure. Dragoons are gonna come up to the front and start to hit this bunker. Factories are done. 2 factories, in fact, are already finished. Thinking about running up and just killing this bunker, but 4 SCVs expertly pulled immediately by RoyaL to make sure that that can't happen. More Marines being brought down to this bunker. And there's the timing on that range upgrade. It's going to be finishing up here soon, but it might have actually been delayed. I think he might have canceled it and restarted it after the robo started. Gonna come running up now to the bunker, threatening the bust. But as soon as these next two tanks are out, I think that RoyaL will be prepared enough to hold this. Observer flies in. Is he gonna lose that? Oh! 1 HP. 1 HP on the observer is crazy. He really needs that observer to get into the main and figure out what's actually coming. So he cancels his idea of busting this front after getting scouted. He just makes observers here at the front. And it starts his third base immediately. And so whatever idea that SnOw had with this forward robotics, it certainly wasn't build observers and get them to the front faster. That's not a thing. Whatever idea he had for this robo, he's thrown it in the garbage and he's gonna move in a different direction now. Containing the Terran player, getting this third base online and preparing for the next phase. RoyaL, he's got some big blobs of blue in his main. I think he's adding a few more factories online, maybe even going up to 5. Is this in the corner? A Stargate. Now, is this going to be for carriers or will it be an Arbiter follow-up? Big thing for SnOw right now is he doesn't have an observer in the main to see how many factories are being added. You can see the number of tanks here, but he won't be aware of the game plan for RoyaL until the first round of vultures pops. Secondary observer coming forward. Oh god, he's gonna lose this observer for sure. That goes down. Misplay by SnOw. Real misplay with the observer. Kind of 2 times in this game so far. Is this gonna be Arbiter or Carrier? Arbiter or Carrier? I think it's Arbiter. No, Carrier. He starts the upgrade. The reason I thought it was Arbiter is because that upgrade was not spinning yet. But in fact, Carrier is coming and the upgrade starts. Yeah, usually you start the Citadel at the same time as the Stargate in order to get Arbiter underway. But spreading those buildings out, for instance, throwing down the Citadel at the 3rd and the Stargate in the main, could confuse your opponent if they scout only one of those buildings. RoyaL hasn't scouted anything yet, as far as I know. I haven't heard any scans go down. And so he's just kind of blindly pushing out here with 5 factory tank, Vulture, Goliath production. SnOw is being forced all the way back. He doesn't have a lot to deal with this. He's slowing it down by forcing the siege over and over and over again. He might dive forward now, get a tank, and just sort of back up. But this is getting dangerously close to his natural. The pressure is on right now for SnOw. His carrier production hasn't even started yet. As the Stargates finish up, he scans, he sees the spinning cybernetics core. That'll tip the hand to RoyaL, but he's already in the face of SnOw. Very dangerous situation here, guys. SnOw, will he be brought to his knees by this push? Or can he delay it long enough to get some carriers out? Will he just switch completely into gateway units, break this push, and then switch into carriers later? Here he goes, diving on top of this. The tanks are really stacked up here at the front, but the line of tanks is deep. Back there, going all the way across the bridge. 4 tanks remain. A shuttle does manage to live, but it'll probably be targeted down here in a moment. There's too many vultures here at the front. The next round of Dragoons makes its way up. He tries to drag a mine, but that Dragoon was too low. It dies immediately. These 2 Dragoons are going to be siphoned off and killed. Now the tanks are in such a position to where I doubt the ability of SnOw to break out of here. That is such a good spot RoyaL right over top of that high ground, and there's no protections for these probes. They are completely out in the open. With one Dragoon only to defend this, he's gonna bring a few more over, I think. He's bringing the shuttle up. Does he have something in there? He's got some Dragoons in the mix to actually save these workers, but even with him saving these workers, the gas in the natural is gonna go down, pulling a bunch of the probes out of this natural. That's so many Goliaths here already. Even though the carriers are starting to increment out, they've got very few interceptors. And so with this amount of anti-air, RoyaL's gonna create a no-fly zone here in the natural. So many turrets being added as well. And he's slowly pushing into this third, knowing that it's a long travel distance for the carriers to get up here. There's no room for SnOw to breathe, and he gets choked out by RoyaL. GG! As he takes it home here on Minstrel. Correcting the wrongs of the past. Writing history. RoyaL cleans house on Minstrel. The final map that shut him down last series is the arena where he takes his win in this follow-up, in this run back. He's managed to win himself $500 and 100 gems from High Tech Hippie. Thank you so much supporting the stream. GG RoyaL with some really strong TVP showings this week. Yes. Absolutely crushing it here in the DUEL series. He crushed it earlier against Best as well, if I have that correct. I believe he did against Best even better in that series. And so RoyaL is one of those guys to watch out for this season. ASL Season 19, guys. It's been renamed. It's no longer the SSL. I put the announcement on my YouTube. They've changed it back to the ASL. It's going to be the ASL Season 19, ASL 19. They decided only the one season will be the SSL. And so Soulkey has the great honor of being the only champion of the SSL. Now going on to Season 19. Is he going to be able to maintain that throne? So many great players are vying for that position. The A in ASL is Africa TV. Africa TV. That's the old name of SOOP. The historical name. And they changed it, I guess, last year. But they decided to at least keep the name of the series that's so well known, the ASL. After a brief hiatus as the SSL, they're going to change it back. And guys, I promised on my channel a big announcement in this video, so stick around. Next series is going to be announced now, and it's a big one. Let's have some guesses in the chat. Who do you think is going to come out next? Hot tub stream? No, not yet. Maybe that's for the next gem goal. Here it is, boys. Jadong versus Mini. That'll be tomorrow, same time. I haven't actually put the time up there, but tomorrow, Jadong versus Mini. It should be an epic best of 7. I'm super excited for that. Battle should be just fantastic. I'll go ahead and update this. And I'm gonna post it on YouTube as well. Let everybody know. Let all your friends know about this series, guys. If you are involved in some Discord channels related to StarCraft, if you want to post this on Reddit or anywhere else that you think might attract more people to this series, I encourage you to do so. It would really help me out, and I would super appreciate it. Again, we want to get more people in here watching and prove to Soup that the English community is worth supporting. I'll write this down. It is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. Jaedong versus Mini. Don't miss out, guys. There we go. It's been updated. Broodwar forever. Broodwar forever. Thanks to your support, guys. I think we're going to keep this going for a long time. We're going to be able to keep this ball rolling. We're already past halfway in our goal. And we're not even halfway through this month. Don't listen to all the haters who have been claiming that Broodwar has been dead since 2009 when Starcraft 2 came out. This game still lives on in our hearts. And especially in the hearts of Koreans. And that's why we will appreciate them so much. And we appreciate Soup so much for reaching out and giving us this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much, Eddie Slide. I'm trying my best, guys. I will continue to update the stream to make it better for you guys, a better viewing experience. If you guys have any suggestions for the Observer or for myself, go ahead and let me know. You can make a comment here, or you can comment on the YouTube videos or any of my posts on YouTube. And I'll do my best. No promises. Yeah, we've got the link in the YouTube description. Absolutely. I've got it as my default upload now. Even the KCM links to here. I think the Observer is pretty good too. Yeah, he was doing a really good job. I asked him, just one comment was to check upgrades a little bit more often. And I think he's been adding that in a little bit more recently. So he's definitely reactive to our suggestions. But as long as you guys think he's doing a good job, I'm happy. Big shout out to Soup Africa. I'm thinking about doing some more series on this channel as well, guys. Adding in some gameplay of my own as well. Maybe talking about doing some coaching. After the stream, having people or having someone come in and coach me in Zerg play, maybe before or after. So that'll be coming up in the future. You guys can learn some stuff. Night, guys. High Tech Hippie. You have a good night, man. Really appreciate the support today. And I hope to see you tomorrow for the Jaedong versus Mini series. It's going to be a great one. Definitely don't miss out on that. If you guys missed out on any games today, it's going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel following this live stream. Not immediately, but it'll be up soon. Yeah, it's been fantastic, Nafet. Things are going really, really well. I'm super happy. Couldn't be happier. Just thanking the Spanish caster, letting him know that we have no notes, and that he's doing a fantastic job, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and rest my voice. This has been a very exciting series, and I'm expecting another intense series tomorrow between Jaedong and Mini, so I will rest. Not get too excited. And we'll be back tomorrow for some more SOOP Duel series. Good night, everybody. See you then.